Let's talk about my 2025 bookish resolutions and reading goals, which I feel like I want 2025 to be my best reading year ever, and we have a chance of doing that if I achieve all of these. So number one, my goal is to read 100 books. It has been my goal pretty much every year. However, I feel like this year I really want to have more fun, which like obviously I've never picked books hoping I'm going to hate them, but I want to really try to focus on the books I'm the most excited about, not necessarily the popular ones, which it's really hard not to succumb to the hype, right? Everyone else seems to like the book. You want to try the book, so I know it's still going to happen, but I really want to try to focus on the books that I think, I'm predicting that I will be giving them 5 stars, and hopefully I will. I'm still planning on doing what I usually do, which is use my library. If you don't use Libby, I highly recommend you do that. If you can connect it to your library cards, I would do that. I have 2 library cards, so I have a bunch of books that I can get from the library, which helps try new things because, again, low commitment, it's free, getting the new releases, and listening to more audiobooks, which actually I did a video on tips and tricks to read more, and that was one of the things that worked for me, which I will not debate the topic. If it counts, it does. I don't care. I feel like I go through more nonfiction books using audiobooks than I would normally, so I highly recommend them. I still want to vary the genres and where I get my recommendations. I'm still trying to find new favorites that way, and I still want to declutter. There's an asterisk here. I have some challenges that will help me do that, but I feel like in the past 2 years, I wasn't enjoying myself as much because I was too focused on decluttering, which we're going to try to be a bit more balanced in 2025. So let's find as many favorites as possible. The second big thing for me in 2025 is big reading challenges. There are 3 that I really want to focus on this year. The first one, you all know about it. I feel like I've been doing this for a while now. This is going to be my 3rd year, and it is my Read It or Unhaul It challenge, where I try to go through my physical TBR. So all the unread books on my shelves are in this jar, and every month for a reading vlog, I pick the books and I try to read them or unhaul, so get rid of them. And I feel like I love that challenge because no matter what, it's successful. If I read the book and love it, cool. If I read it and hate it, it goes away. It's just empty space for future books. And if I can't even finish it because I hate it, it's also going away. Claudia, you cannot eat my microphone. I let her come in because she was yelling the whole time and I had to refilm, so just don't destroy everything, please. I just posted a video where we reviewed how 2024 went. I removed all the books that I had read not during the challenge from the big jar to have, our starting number. And actually I had to add all the books that I bought and didn't read last year, and our starting number is 452. My goal is personally not to get to 0. If you do your own version, you could do it that way, but it's just to get to a point where my bookshelves represent my taste, because 2-3 years ago when I was looking at my shelves, I felt like I buy my books mostly used, so I feel like it's not necessarily the most representative of my taste, and every year I remove the books that I read and I just like them or hate them. So I only keep a couple, so I feel like I get to a point where I haven't read most of the books on my shelf and it's just not representing my taste. So I was really trying to declutter and then go ahead and purchase the books that I loved from the library. So we're gonna get to a point where I look at my shelves and I'm a bit more happy. It's a work in progress, but so far I think it's going well, and I know it's one of your favorite challenges too, so I will be continuing it in 2025. Claudia. So I will be doing that challenge every month, and I think maybe one of these months I will just do a pure declutter one, because that's one of the first one I had done was a YA fantasy and sci-fi. I went through that shelf and I got rid of a bunch of books after reading the first chapter. That's kind of how it happens when you've been on Booktube for a while, right? You purchase the popular books, and at the time it was a lot of YA fantasy, and I feel like if I haven't picked them up in 5-10 years, maybe it's time to move on. I still want to give them a shot though, because sometimes you still find favorites. I did just last month and I'm excited to continue that series, but a lot of them I know they can probably go, but I want to give them a shot because I don't like getting rid of books without trying them. So I think I will be dedicating a month to that. The second big challenge I want to do this year is about book series. So I used to be really good at finishing them. It used to be so easy. I would read them back to back, and Booktube ruined that for me. I feel like there's always new releases, and then you read the first book, the second one is not out, and then life happens. You started 50 series, you didn't finish any of them, so we're going back to that challenge. I did for 2 years, took a break last year, and I desperately need to do it again. So I just did a video where I talk about the 20 I'm hoping to finish, and my goal is to finish 10. And by finish, it could be finish them, catch up to the newest release, or give up on them. And during that video, a lot of you told me that I should count every book instead of every series, which I'm considering it because, I mean, some books are just really, really thick. And if I did that, I feel like I would have to up my number to like 12 and not count the ones I give up on, because feel free to debate in the comment section, but if I do 12, maybe that could probably be a little easier for me. Third big challenge I want to do this year is to read more nonfiction. It has been an ongoing thing for me for the last couple of years. The first year went so well. I read like 30 something, and then I had some health issues. I was dealing with really bad brain fog and I couldn't focus, but it looks like it's gone, so I'm going back to it and I'm really, really excited. I read a lot of beginner-friendly ones. I feel like not enough people read nonfiction. It can be fun. Like, genuinely, it can be really, really fun. So I want to try to also focus on topics that I am interested in. 3, I want to continue doing little challenges. I like my reading vlogs to have teams. I don't want to only do that, but I feel like they can be so much fun. So I do want to continue doing like testing really popular like book clubs or book lists awards. I've done a couple of them, and I'm trying to find basically different places I could get my personal recommendations from, because I used to do a lot of the Goodreads Choice Awards and I realized not really for me. I keep trying because I don't know, it's appealing, but I'm trying to find different places to get my recommendations from. So that's on my list. I also want to do more 24 hours or 48 hours reading vlog. I used to do them, and then again, brain fog I was dealing with. So I want to go back to that because they're really fun. They're intense, but I can binge read a couple books and just find new favorites that way. So I will be doing that more regularly in 2025. And even though I said I would be more selective with the books that I read, I still want to try really popular ones because it's fun. But I feel like maybe if I combine the 24 hours with popular ones, maybe that could work and I could just like get it out of my system, because some books are so popular and I also get sucked into the hype, and sometimes it does work. So like, of course I'm going to continue. So my fourth point is more about a resolution, because I was mentioning I need to be more selective with the books and genres I read, because it's not even funny anymore. I keep trying to read mystery thrillers and it's a fail like 80% of the time. And like, I know it's frustrating for me, it's frustrating. And I've gotten comments saying that, why do you keep reading them? Because sometimes I love them, because I want to know. And I grew up reading a bunch of them, and in my head, I like them, but then the popular ones don't work for me. So I need to be a lot more selective with the ones that I read. Not just because it's popular and on a list, it doesn't count. I need to actually read a summary and make a decision, like read the reviews and be more selective and not get sucked into hype for that specific genre, mystery thrillers. No choice, because it's been bad. However, I have noticed last year that the horror books I've been reading worked better for me, which I never thought of myself as a horror girly, and that sounded bad with my accent, did it? We're just going to ignore that. And I've been really enjoying them. So I think I'm going to do that. In general, I had noticed that thrillers with like sci-fi elements worked better for me. So it seems like horror is working better. And when I look at my stats, the genres that do the worst, like rating wise, is 100% mystery thrillers. So, I will try to read less of them this year, or if I do read them, I will be extremely selective. So I think this could be a game changer for me, but yes, it needs to be a resolution. Okay, Emily, you cannot just pick the ones that are going around because they don't work for you. Like, this has been something I've been learning that lesson for like 5 years. It's not even funny. Part of that resolution is that I want to go back to reading more fantasy, because I again avoided it for the last 2 years, and I've been blaming again the brain fog, because again, thick fantasy, I just didn't have the brain power. But if I'm being honest, I was tired of reading the same thing over and over again. But a lot of the series that I want to finish are popular and I have enjoyed the first book, so I'm hoping that if I just focus on them, I will have a better experience than if I just pick random ones that are popular. So I will be doing that. I feel like the series that I'm in the middle of, I'm enjoying enough that it could be good for me. My average rating for that genre would improve, and in general, I would read more of them. Again, I didn't read that many in the last 2 years, or the ones I was reading were more like cozy fantasy, and they can be, again, hit and miss, but high fantasy, I was avoiding it. So we're going back to that. That is a big resolution. I haven't read a lot of hard sci-fi last 2 years either. I'm not sure I'm ready. I want to go back, but maybe next year. And I feel like this also goes hand in hand with the part of resolution where I want to read more from authors I have tried and liked, because again, if I've enjoyed one of their books, chances are I will enjoy more. It's not a foolproof with funny favorites, but in general, it has worked well for me. So I do want to continue trying to read more from authors I have enjoyed. And again, series is a way to do that, but not only that. But in general, I just want to be more selective. I want to put down the books I'm not enjoying them, and even the ones that I do pick, I want to be super selective. Whether they're new releases, really popular, I feel like using my library a lot tends to really remove any stress about it because it's slow commitment. I just get rid of them. But DNF. Learn to not finish books. Another bookish resolution for me in 2025 is that I want to have more fun also with my reading vlogs and include more lifestyle tidbits. It has been really requested. I get a lot of questions about like what lipstick I'm wearing or like hair care routine. So I will be including those just naturally in my reading vlogs. Again, because of my health issues, I was just avoiding needless stress. I was really just focusing on just talking about books because I was just so exhausted. But because I'm feeling better and better, I will be doing that again. Skincare, beauty products, decor, because I still am not done. It's coming back. I want to finish this room for sure and the rest of my house. So just having more fun with my reading vlogs in general and not just do books. Obviously, it's still mostly going to be a reading vlog, but I just want to have more fun with that too. In general, I feel like 2025, this is my biggest resolution. I want to have fun. I just need it. So we're going to do just that. And hopefully we will find a bunch of new favorites. Like I said, there would be a bunch of videos linked in the description box. The details for the reading challenges that I was mentioning will be there, and I will be putting more videos on the screen, including actually those specific videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.